I'm Daniel, back at it again with the nice vans. What's going on, guys? Andy and Randy here for G4 Outdoors, and today we're going to be installing a new fish finder, depth finder, whatever you want to call it, transducer mount to the trolling motor on a bass boat. Let's get into it.
Search G4 Outdoors YouTube online. But as I look up and I ask, can I please just catch a break? I got my rod and my reel and I'm headed to the lake. Yeah.
All right, guys, right now on the boat we have the Lowrance Hook 2. This is the 5X with a dual split shot run through trolling motor mount. And this transducer itself is fine, but the actual mounting brackets with the holes is kind of seeing better days. On my old trolling motor, I didn't have a fin down here to block anything from hitting it, so it got bust up and ripped up, so I fixed it with epoxy and just have a different mount on there. But anyways, transducer mounted on the trolling motor. And what we're going to is the Humminbird Helix 7 my brother gave me, and I purchased the XTM down imaging 25T from Humminbird. And the reason I did this is a 100% trolling motor mount transducer, which means this has the built-in integration to avoid seeing any noise from the trolling motor. Your electrical noise, your electrical sounds that get picked up, this blocks all that. That's why I went with this model, which, like I said, is the XTM 9DI25T for the Humminbird. So let's get into this video. All right, y'all, so I'm gonna start in reverse order, transducer to the unit. So I gotta pop a bunch of zip ties off. I gotta unmount this from the bottom of the trolling motor itself. So I don't know if I had a wing nut design. No, it's either a flathead screwdriver or whatever hex head you can find, but we can just use a flathead screwdriver. So yeah, cutting some zip ties real quick. All right, we're gonna go ahead and pop the mount here, this little mounting bracket thing for the transducer itself. And the annoying thing about this is it 100% needs to be removed all the way. All right, I got annoyed using the flathead screwdriver, so we're just gonna do it the old-fashioned way, right? The way your father would be proud of you for doing it. There we go. Boom, transducer off. And all this cable running through here has been taped down my trolling motor. So we're gonna work on removing all that too. Removing the tape. Razor blade, razor.
Did you buy a new extinguisher?
I did.
For you.
You noticed that, huh? Noticing the extinguisher. It's pretty wild. When a guy notices your extinguisher. And next time, or this time I guess, I'm going to use zip ties instead of electrical tape. Why we used electrical tape, it's probably what we had, you know? Knowing us, it's what we had at the moment. Work with what you got. Sometimes you don't want to go to the store.
I think that we used electrical tape because on the Garmin instructions, I don't know if it's the same on this, but it says do not zip tie it because it causes a pinch point on the cables.
I think it all depends on how hard you zip tie it though.
Common sense goes a long way.
Yeah. Little hand tie, you don't need to crank her down and give her everything she's ever had in her life before.
I mean, we could put like Gorilla Tape on here.
Yeah. That's the stuff. All right, real fast, I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect the head unit on this, which has got one of the coolest designs, in my opinion, as far as doing that stuff. If I can get to the lip of it. And push these two tabs in. Head unit slides out. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and unmount this mounting plate for the Lowrance. Boom. A stink bug. Always. And when we hooked this all up, we hardwired it to direct power, no on and off power for this. So I got to knock these 4 screws out and get into where we hardwired this in from here. And we ran all the cables in through this little hole we drilled right here, if you see. So we're gonna have to reinstall the new one in like a reverse order, right? Because you're gonna have to go through that hole. If you don't remember that, then you might end up screwing yourself a little bit. Nose cut. Nose cut. And now I can pull the power cord for the Lowrance back through this hole.
And that's all that?
That's everything unhooked as far as the Lowrance goes. Now we're getting ready to do an install on the Humminbird, and I'll go through a couple pointers in the videos of stuff I've learned along the way that you're going to want to pay attention to do if you're following along with trying to do this your own at home. So this is my little hodgepodge of screws I brought. I really don't care too much of how it looks as long as all the screws match and it holds it in there. So these ones that came from the Lowrance that we mounted, I think will work. They just have barely enough bite, so I'm gonna try these other ones just to see. Boom, mounted. Mounts in there. Yeah, we got more than plenty enough room here, for sure. I could even go back a little bit if I wanted to.
Forward or back?
Forward to the front of the boat.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You might want to come forward a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
To relieve a little bit of space up here.
Yeah, my only thing I was wanting to do is maybe try to reuse some of these holes we already drilled, but I may do one of my tactics on it, which is a little bit of shoe goo to plug up some of these holes.
There's still a hole back here. I mean...
Yeah, I might be able to fit that in there.
An inch.
Yeah, I think we can get that in there. So we are mounting to the back hole. Yeah, I think that'll be even better. I think
yeah, it's got plenty of room all the way around.
Yep, I think you're right. I like that. I wouldn't have thought of that at the time, so I'm glad you said something. So that's that. And something I'm probably going to do just because I'm weird. These holes aren't going to matter at all. As far as talking like if it's raining or something, you know how it would have to just, you know. But I'm probably just going to take a little bit of shoe goo and plug up my holes just because I'm weird, right?
These holes?
Those holes. Maybe a little bit of shoe goo. I don't know. I might just leave it because I'm lazy. Let's go ahead and drill some holes in the boat. Keyword try to. Carpet, a little bit of aluminum. We're through.
Yay. The first hole that G4 Outdoors has ever drilled through aluminum without breaking a bit.
And these are new bits too, dude. I'm gonna tone this down. In the words of Airsoft Fatty, don't go full force.
You're still hitting full force, dude!
That's what that was.
The agreement was you'd stop! Anger is not the way of the gentle!
Okay.
100% ain't going nowhere.
I mean, this is a fast boat. Okay. I saw a video from, I think it was Intuitive Angling. He's like, you don't need a 250 horse to go bass. No, you don't need it, but you want it, right? All right, guys, next step for me is going to be getting the power cables on the power to the head unit through this hole. And I'm hoping that it's relatively the same size for the loom. I think I'm gonna have to ream it out a little bit. Yep, that sucks. All right, guys, reamed my hole out a little bit. Not much, A little bit. Yeah, we gliding through now, boys. Hell yeah. In the words of Stone Cold Steve Austin, hell yeah. And on this stuff, you don't necessarily need them to be watertight and heat shrunk and all that good stuff, but you can if you want to. Now I just gotta find all the parts and stuff I need. Yeah, let's just start by getting these to show. Boom. I'm glad you showed me that, dude. That makes it fucking 1,000 times easier than the reaming around shit that I'm always trying to do. You learn new shit every day, man. We're in. You want to heat shrink these?
If they're butt connectors, no. If you want to, yes.
Get a little play on these. And none of that stuff's going anywhere. Like I said, we don't need to. It's just something to do.
So what you just did is plug that into a constant power?
Yes.
And that constant power was, do you know what that's coming off of?
Those wires? I don't know what those wires were hooked up to originally. But no, they were just kind of there. They've always been there at the front of the boat just to hook something up.
It could be a positive wire off of your...
I don't think so. I think those wires have been there all the time, just like the system for the trolling motor has a 24-volt wire running through there too.
Oh,
in case you wanted to upgrade. So I think it just had wires in there in case you wanted to do different things up here.
Gotcha.
So I think they were just kind of, you know, it's a higher end boat for what these boats are. It's your higher end bass boat compared to tracker stuff. This is Triton, so it's a reputable company. They probably think of that stuff, right?
So constant power is what that's into.
Constant power.
Gotcha.
So it has a direct line through. Okay, so power cord is run and ready to go. Usually I would test to make sure that whatever that is working, but it was literally hooked up to my old one. The old one worked fine, so I know those wires are hot and ready to go. So it's time to do this transducer. And we will be working transducer to the head unit. And one of the things about this system compared to your regular transducers, as far as what those ones are, these do have to run a certain way. Wire is going to come out front. You have this little dot down here, which is actually your temperature reading. You're going to want that facing towards the back. If your trolling motor allows it, usually you're going to want this in front of your rod, but mine won't allow it because I have this here, so I got to kind of do what I got to do here. And we'll run this up through here. Same mounting. I'm just going to use one of those little wire. What are those called? Clamps?
Hose clamp?
Hose clamp? Boats and hose clamps. Boats and hose clamps. Is that too small? If it was me, and it is me, I'm going to put my wire underneath this damn thing so it doesn't get freaking pinched up in here, right? Now, I don't want this too far back, but I don't want this to interfere with any signal that's being pinged down, right? So I'm going to have it back just a hair, not too far. Just doing this to get it started. Come down here and be able to eyeball some stuff to make sure it's 100% straight like I want to. I don't think you need stuff to be good around there somewhere. So I don't want to do it, like I said, I don't want to do it too tight, even though it just tightened itself up like crazy.
Just a little love. Just a little love.
Just a little love. And when I tightened it up, it took it off the center a little bit. So I'm going to center that back up a little bit. I'm going to turn this thing down, right? So it gives, similar to an impact. I mean, that's on there, that ain't going nowhere. A little snudging. A little snudging, right? Should be good there. Like I said, you're going to want that dot face in the back because this does have a directional path to it. You can kind of see the rounded edge too. That's the directional path. And this one is just down imaging GPS. So you have your 2D sonar and your legit down imaging sonar, and you have full GPS. But I brought zip ties this time. I don't want to tape everything, so we're going to zip tie our way up, and I'll show you something that is very, very important when it comes to mounting a wired transducer through on your trolling motor.
We're getting close to a lesson here, aren't we?
Yes, we're getting very close to a lesson here. And I've learned this the hard way before. Okay, so a lot of times you're gonna do this, you're gonna run this wire, everything's all nice, snugged up and tucked along here, and you're forgetting one very, very important thing. Your shaft, at least on mine, and yours does too, it rotates, right? So without it being able to have slack in this cable, you're gonna have this stuff all tight, you're gonna rotate that trolling motor is gonna hit something, and it's gonna snap this cable right in half. So one thing you need to do, make yourself a little loop here, okay? Doesn't need to be nothing too crazy, too eccentric. You can literally take, I guess I can do that for you. I'll do that just to give you peace of mind, right? We're gonna go ahead and, yeah, it's all tangled around everything. I'm gonna take the trolling motor, huh? We're gonna bring her up here, right? I'm gonna have to hold it. So it rotates, right? It rotates around. If this cable is super tight, you're gonna have a nightmare. So give yourself a little loop. And as you can see now, when this rotates, it's gonna keep it loose enough and not snap. So give yourself
Oh yeah.
a little room.
Yeah, because if that was totally tight,
Your
either the
cables-
trolling motor wouldn't turn, or you're going to rip your cable out.
That thing's got enough torque in it from your foot pressure and stuff to definitely snap something. Now there is companies that make these cool Velcro sleeves that go over all this stuff. You just put all your wires in it and it Velcros over together to kind of cover it all. I'm not buying anything, I'm just letting you know. The guy's got some zip ties and some electrical tape, we're gonna be okay. And I probably could have tucked a lot of this wire back in behind this plate, but like I said, I'm really not that worried about it. I'm not. It's not gonna drive me crazy, it's not gonna bug me at all, so just do it this way. I don't mind if everything's exposed. I can see everything, you know, it doesn't bother me, whatever. This will bother me then. That little one thing right there will bother me though. The most important thing when doing this is this little loop, man. Make sure you got a little loop for the play in the cable where your trolling motor spins around. Make sure you have that, okay? All right, so I got all the wiring and stuff ran the way I want it in my boat. Like I said, this is a fishing machine, man. It's not an aesthetic pleaser. I'm not over here polishing my gel coat. I don't care about any of that stuff. So like I said, it's run. Make sure you have your little loop, your little slack in here where it turns. I'm gonna express that a couple times because I've jacked that up before, and it wasn't fun. I had to buy a new transducer. It wasn't fun. So everything's ran. Wires are all ran. Gotta button this back up, but before I do, I'm going to power this all on and make sure everything is operating right.
You know what surprised me about today? I was worried we were going to have to like snake wires from the back of the motor to the front.
Well, original idea, I kind of wanted to take that Lowrance hook off that I have here and bring it up here and have this bigger unit back there. But technically, I really only use that for GPS navigation and running my lines through lakes. I use all my downscan stuff up here, so it actually makes more sense for me to have my bigger unit up here to look at all that stuff while I'm fishing compared to what I'm doing over there. But yeah, that would have sucked to have to snake wires again for sure. Boom, mounted up. Okay, moment of truth, right? Is this gonna turn on or what?
Boom.
Oh my God, I know what I'm doing. Because it was already done, I just redid it again. And transducer doesn't show up, it doesn't work out of water. So you got that going on, right? And it takes a little while for the GPS to kind of acquire where it needs to be too. But this will all be GPS here in like a minute. It takes like a minute for it to figure out what it's doing. But yeah. So everything's working, GPS is on, it shows we are at Randy's house, and as you can see, Smithville Lake's right here because Randy lives crazy close to Smithville Lake. Something I couldn't do on my other one is actually navigation points. I can literally move everything around on this one compared to the other one, And you can also zoom in on your down scan, which I don't think I could do on the other one either. But there's a waypoint at my house. I was jacking with it. But yeah, everything's working. Awesome. All right, guys, like always, thanks for watching the video. And like I said, if this is your first time installing a fish finder, transducer, depth finder, whatever on your trolling motor, I'm not going to express it enough. Make sure you do your little loop for your rotation in your trolling motor. It's very important. But we got one more video we're going to do today, so we need to get to that. And yeah, that's going to be done for today. But like always, guys, thanks for watching this video. If you got anything out of this video or something you saw me jack up on or something you would have done differently, go ahead and leave it in the comments. Let me know, man. I always like hearing your guys' thoughts and opinions, whether I care or not. I read them, I listen to them. Hit the like button if you liked the video. And like always, if you're new to watching this and has discovered us for the first time from watching this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because we always have videos coming. Fishing, we're getting ready to go to Lake of the Ozarks this upcoming weekend. It's going to be fun. Lots of gun-related content coming for sure, and a lot of fishing. It's going to happen. Yeah, hit the subscribe button like always. Randy, you see his face, right? Ah, face. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I just dream of fishing while I'm going through my workday. I listen to my boss, though he's driving me berserk. Damn it, I can't take much more because my brain is really hurting. Now the bank is always calling and I don't know what to do. And I haven't bought a crankbait since like 1992. But the bass are out.